Dojin sits under the world tree. He focuses hard to take in the pure mana from it. Seo Dojin stays completely focused. He keeps taking in mana from the world tree. Days go by. 1 day, then 2, then 3 days. He is still sitting in the same place. Seo Dojin sat quietly, thinking deep thoughts and pulling in special power called mana. He forgot to eat or drink. He stayed like this for 10 full days. He only thought about breathing and pulling in mana. After this long time, Seo Dojin breathed out slowly. He felt much stronger. Suddenly, Seo Dojin felt things moving strangely. He heard sounds that seemed wrong coming from the woods. How he looked changed fast. He became careful. Strange, bright animals showed up in front of him. Seo Dojin spoke angrily. He called them by their name, Volcana. Seo Dojin quickly remembered these were the same animals they burned the world tree long ago. They broke the world that was there before. The animals quickly moved towards the world tree. They wanted to break it again. Seo Dojin got ready to fight them. He wished he had a water weapon to help him fight. The bright animals rushed at him very fast to attack him. But Seo Dojin quickly made a choice. He decided not having a weapon was okay. He could fight them with the strength he had now. He said strongly that he would smash all of them. He started to use the power he got from the pure mana. He used it to attack them. He hit the monsters very hard. They started to fall down because his strength was too much for them. Seo Dojin began fighting the monsters called Volcana. He paid very close attention during the fight. Seo Dojin let out his mana power in a very big way. He put the mana energy all around himself. He thought that the thick mana became like chai. He used it to make a powerful blast against the monsters. Seo Dojin let out a breath slowly after attacking. He thought it had been a long time since he used so much mana at one time. The Volcana monsters came back. They were very angry.
They started attacking him. Seo Dojin faced them fast and with great power. He used the mana he had gathered. He threw it at them. He moved towards the monsters with strength and trust in himself. He was able to stop the monsters' attacks easily. He looked calm while fighting them. Seo Dojin said he made sure the world tree was safe. Now he decided to see how much mana he had gotten back. He looked with his eyes to check. Seo Dojin moved towards the monsters again, sure of himself. They were trying to attack him again. One monster tried to attack him very fiercely. It opened its wide mouth full of sharp teeth, but Seo Dojin fought back against the monster's attack with huge power. He used his hand shaped like a fist. He hit the monster very hard, right in its mouth. After this strong hit, the monster was beaten. A red stone fell from its body onto the ground. Seo Dojin went closer to the stone. He saw that he had gotten it. He smiled with trust. He told the monsters that when he finished beating them all, he would get a rare thing. This rare thing was called the Eternal Ember. He kept smiling surely. He said he should be able to get this thing. Seo Dojin remembered that in the past, getting this thing was very likely. He decided to see if he could get more of these things from the other monsters. He started attacking them with power and fierceness. More red and yellow stones fell from the monsters Dojin beat. He looked at them closely. Then he saw the Eternal Ember already among the stones. He picked it up carefully. Seo Dojin felt good because he got this thing again. He was surprised that he got it back. While Dojin looked at the Eternal Ember in his hands very carefully, Dojin understood he wanted to take in more mana from the world tree, but he knew his body could not hold any more right now, so he chose to take in the energy from the Eternal Ember instead. He would turn the mana in his body into firepower. Seo Dojin remembered that before he did not even need to take in such rare things himself. He moved around and picked up the stones that had fallen from the monsters. Seo Dojin kept taking in the energy of the Eternal Ember. He took it in until he could not take any more. At the same time, many people gather outside the strange opening in the ground. They watch it with fear and hope. It feels messy and tense among the people watching. Someone yells because they are very angry and worried. They shout, "Damn it!" Things start with a man named Bang Woo being very angry. He is upset and annoyed about what one crazy person did. He wonders why this trouble is happening. Another man, Kim Hyun-woo, answers. He says the person went in to try and save his younger sister.
But Bang Woo is angry and says that's just an excuse. He says the person heard a story about something good inside and went in without caring about other people. He adds that if the person wants to die, he should die alone and not cause problems for everyone else. Kim Hyunwoo asks what the leader said. Bang Woo answers that the leader just told them to wait and watch the situation. Kim Hyunwoo wonders why they are waiting. Bang Woo explains that strange openings like this have appeared at the same time in many big countries. He names the United States, China, Britain, Turkey, and Switzerland. Kim Hyunwoo understands why the leader is busy. He says this is the first time something like this has happened. He then says that other countries were able to handle the situation well. Only they are having problems because of that person. He calls that person a beggar. Bang Woo gets angry. He says he will wait for that person to come out first, then he will hurt him in the face. The very large, strange opening keeps getting bigger. The situation around it stays very tense and confusing. It is officially announced that 28 days have passed since the new opening appeared. The hero group gives a warning about small monsters coming out. It is also announced that if the normal person who first went into the opening does not come out in the next 2 days, the situation will become very serious.
Now, we see a man who seems to be in charge. He is surprised. He asks, so the normal person who entered first was that bad guy Seo Dojin? His helper, Director Kim, says yes. He says the information is correct and the normal person is Seo Dojin. The leader asks how likely it is that Seo Dojin will come back alive. Director Kim answers that if he is just a normal person, the chance is almost 0. It's about 1%. But the leader laughs in a mean way. He says the chance of coming back alive is less than 0.1%. He thinks the idea of a normal person surviving is silly. The leader then keeps making fun of the hero group. He says they are making big mistakes because they don't know enough. He then wonders, what if Seo Dojin is actually a hero with powers? Director Kim replies that if he really is a hero, then it depends on how strong he is. He admits it's hard to make a sure guess in that case. The leader agrees with Director Kim. He adds that simply being good at fighting and living through the rift is not the same thing. Suddenly, the leader mentions that Seo Dojin has 2 family members. He suggests they should get them and keep them safe. Director Kim is surprised by this. He asks what they are planning to do now. The leader answers very calmly but in a scary way. He says they should treat the family well for now. But if Seo Dojin dies, they will sell his family's body parts. And if he comes back alive, they will ask for a lot of money and make him owe them money. At the same time, inside the opening, Seo Dojin is still focusing hard. He is taking energy from a world tree. Seo Dojin feels a huge change in his body and power. This is after taking the energy of the eternal ember. He wonders to himself how much time has passed. He confirms that he has already taken energy from hundreds of eternal embers. He tells himself that he can now use fire power whenever he wants. He says that fire hurts him much less now. He thinks he is in a much better state than before when people called him the Sword Master. Seo Dojin touches the world tree. He thinks deeply about the past. He compares it to now. He says words of thanks. Seo Dojin thanked the world tree for the power and strength it gave him. He then gathered the red stones he got from fighting monsters and put them in a small bag. Dojin looked at the world tree and sadly thought he might not see it again after this. But he told the tree that if they meet again and it is in danger, he will protect it no matter what. Dojin left the rift and went outside. He saw that the area had no people. He wondered if everyone left because many monsters were coming. Then Dojin felt a strong power in one direction. He quickly decided to go towards it. He moved very fast towards that power. At the same time, Bong Gun-woo and Kim Hyun-woo were standing and talking near the rift. Dojin saw their clothes from far away. He knew they were from the same group he saw before.
He thought if they caught him, it would be a big problem. Dojin decided to use his new power and shot a strong fire at them. The fire reached them quickly and caused a big explosion. This surprised everyone. Kim Hunwoo was shocked and shouted, wondering what the sound was and if it was a fire. People got scared and rushed to check if any normal people were hurt. Everyone tried to run away quickly from the area. Banggu Woo and Kim Hunwoo were shocked and angry. Bangun Woo was very angry and wondering why there was fire here. At the same time, Seo Dojin calmly walked away from the area, watching the fire he made. He thought about how good the fire was. Seo Dojin quietly said the name Kosok and wondered if Kosok would be surprised by this fire if he saw it. Then Seo Dojin remembered the past. He said that Kosok would surely have been very happy to see this fire, because he was the best fire user in that land at that time. Kim Hunwoo felt something strange and suddenly stopped. He told Bangun Woo to wait. Kim then saw that the rift was not acting normally. He told Bangun Woo. Everyone looked at the rift with surprise and worry. It started to change shape in a strange way. Bangun Woo became very worried. He wondered what was happening to the rift. Everyone was more surprised when they saw that the rift was slowly going away from its place. While this happened, Seo Dojin quietly walked away. He left the area with sure steps, carrying his bag of stones. He looked back slightly with a serious look. This showed how strong and sure he was in himself and in what he had done. News on TV in the city reported that the new rift that had appeared in the Mapo area this morning was suddenly gone. The news showed a picture of the city and a big building. The newsperson said that today is the 28th day since Mr. Seo, a person not registered who lives in Zone Z, went into the rift. The Hero Association had been waiting for many monsters. They were shocked by this sudden disappearance. They started looking closely to find out why. At the same time, the news reported that a strange fire had started in a place with old junk near where the rift was. Some people in the streets started joking that bad guy Seo Dojin must have died inside the rift. Some thought he got what he deserved. Others said it is smart to stay away from a rift when it first shows up. Another person calmly replied that someone has already lost their life and talking like that is not needed. One of them said that people are lucky that the rift going away saved Seoul from becoming a war area. Dojin walked, hiding his face under a hat. He quietly watched what was happening. He thought to himself that if the rift is gone forever, he may never see the world tree again. But he thought, maybe this is better. He looks up at the sky and thinks there's always something important to keep safe no matter what happens. Seo Dojin then goes to the HCS finance building. Inside, two men are talking. They say Seo Dojin is surely dead. So they say the old woman and the little girl, his grandmother and sister, Anyong, are also pretty much done for. One man says if they have bad luck, the family's body parts will be sold. He says the grandmother is finished, but if the girl grows up, the boss might find a way to use her later. Seo Dojin enters the building secretly. He asks the men in a cold voice where their boss is. The boss, Kim, walks out. He walks easily and feels sure of himself. He thinks everything is quiet now because Seo Dojin is dead. He asks his helper about his plans for the day. The helper tells him he will eat lunch, then meet someone later in the evening. The boss smiles, feeling sure. He asks his helper to call a woman and get the new girls ready if there are any. He walks up the stairs, not knowing what is waiting for him. Suddenly, he is shocked to see one of his men hit hard and thrown away. The boss watches, scared. He sees blood coming from the man's face after the fast hit. He finds the man lying on the ground in front of Seo Dojin, who stands strong, facing everyone. The man stands up, coughing blood, and faces Seo Dojin. Seo Dojin orders him to crawl towards him like a dog. Fear shows on the boss's face as he waits to obey. Seo Dojin keeps making the boss feel small in front of everyone. He kicks the table hard again to show he is in charge. Seo Dojin then asks, maybe making fun, if the boss didn't hear him right. The boss crawls on the ground towards Seo Dojin, who is sitting with his legs crossed on a chair. Then he tells him to bark like a dog. Seo Dojin tells him that someone like him should not be treated like a human. He orders him to bark as loud as he can. Boss Kim is made to bark many times like a dog, yelling in fear and shame in front of everyone. The boss's men in the room hear Seo Dojin telling their leader to bark louder and more clearly. In the end, the shame gets worse as the boss keeps barking loudly while everyone watches, scared and not believing it.
Seo Dojin sits back, relaxed. He yells at the men around him, calling them fake people. He says they act nice and pretend to listen, but are ready to stab him in the back the first chance they get. He turns to Hung Chung-sep and talks to him sharply, maybe joking. He asks if he thinks this is the first time he has dealt with bad people like him. The boss, Hung Chung-sep, starts to beg Seo Dojin for kindness. He asks to be forgiven and promises to work for him truly, like a dog, for the rest of his life. But Seo Dojin does not listen to his requests. He yells at him to be quiet and gives him a strong kick that sends him flying. Seo Dojin then turns to the helper with glasses and calls out to him, saying, "Glasses!" This surprises the man. He tells him that he is the boss now. He tells him not to waste his life working like a dog under someone as low as the old boss. Seo Dojin points towards the old boss lying still on the floor. He tells the new helper that getting rid of bad people like him is not hard. The helper with glasses waits and says that the old boss has many friends. He says suddenly taking over might make people wonder. The helper keeps asking for kindness and to give the old boss another chance. This makes Seo Dojin yell back angrily. He asks why he is so slow to understand. Seo Dojin then reminds the helper of their usual ways to get rid of people, like throwing them into the sea or putting them in junk places. He warns everyone that if they don't get rid of the old boss, he will throw him into a gate to become food for monsters. The boss, Hung Chung-sep, keeps begging Seo Dojin for kindness again and again. He promises that he will work for him like a dog, but Seo Dojin completely ignores him. Seo really wants to stop Hung Chung-sep now to avoid problems later. He sighs, wondering if he is being too soft. Seo puts out his hand to Hung Chung-sep and tells him to come close. Hung Chung walks closer, slowly and unsure. Seo grabs him. He says in a cold voice that he accepts his apology for the past. He adds that from now on, he will treat him like an older brother. But Hung Chung-sep is very surprised. Fire suddenly starts in Hung Chung's hand, making him very scared. Seo looks into his eyes and tells him this is his last chance. As the fire burns bright in Seo's eyes, you can see Hung Chung-sep looking scared in them. Seo pushes Hung Chung-sep hard onto the ground. Hung Chung moves on the ground because he is in pain. Seo leaves the building. He gives everyone one last warning. If anyone dares to hurt his family again, he will kill them all. He tells them to protect his family always, without stopping. Meanwhile, the news officially says that Seo Dojin is dead. The government, the judo app, and many news places say this happened in a rift. Seo Dojin sits quietly in a public place, reading the news on his phone. He sees that everyone is reporting he is dead. He thinks that if he said he was alive, it would just cause more trouble and problems. He decides to take his time to think. His little sister, Anyang, sits happily in front of him. She is really enjoying her food. Seo Dojin feels happy watching Anyang eat so cheerfully and simply. Anyang says she is happy and excited about moving to a new home. Seo Dojin tells her she will go to a school for young kids like other children. He says she will also start big school next year. But suddenly, Anyang looks sad and stops talking completely. Seo Dojin sees she is sad and asks in surprise if she doesn't want to go to the young kids' school. Anyang answers with great sadness. She says the kids there make fun of her because she doesn't have a mother or father. Seo Dojin is quiet. He is clearly sad because of what his little sister said. After a moment, he gently and kindly tells her that it is okay. He says she doesn't have to go to the young kids' school or see those not nice kids. She can just go straight to big school next year. Anyang's face quickly changes. She smiles happily and asks, very happy, if she really doesn't have to go to the young kids' school? Jun calmly says yes and agrees with her. Jun thinks that maybe the answer is to send her to a special rich school. There, no one would dare to make fun of her or look down on her. He then remembers a time before at the hotel. He had yelled at his helper, the one with glasses. He asked if he had any sense for making his grandmother and little sister stay in a hotel. The helper tries to explain that the hotel is theirs, so it is very safe. But Jun stops him and tells him not to waste words giving excuses. Inside the room, Anyang shouts with happiness when she sees her brother Jun come in. She and their grandmother run to him. They hug him very tightly because they are happy and missed him. The grandmother holds Jun's hand tightly. Her voice shakes. She says she can hardly believe he is truly here again. She is almost crying from happiness and strong feelings. At the same time, Anyang keeps crying. She calls her brother's name again and again. Jun looks at her. He feels very sad and has clear feelings because of how his sister and grandmother are acting. Then he gently tells them that he really is back. He is alive. He came back just for them. In a scene later, Anyang asks her brother Jun if he is a hero too. Jun answers kindly. He asks if she truly wants him to be one. But she tells him with great sadness that she hopes he is not a hero. This is because she heard that heroes fight bad monsters and sometimes die when they do it. She shows him a simple picture she drew of their family. She says that she and their grandmother want him to stay with them for a very... Jun felt very touched by his young sister's kind words. He then started thinking about his old life. It was a dark and rough world he used to live in. He also remembered how much he lost from fighting monsters for a long time. But now he feels he has found something special on this trip, something he had forgotten, his family. Jun watched his family sitting together in peace in their new house. He told himself that as long as he is here, he can keep this small, happy time safe. The view changed. It showed the city from above. A large building was seen in the distance. The story went inside that building. A man named Not Tai Hwang was there. He started the hero group in Korea. He is also part of a big group of heroes from all over the world. He spoke in a serious way. He said, "So, they still haven't found anything?" His helper answered with respect. She said no information has been found yet and said she was very sorry. This made Not Tai Hwang unhappy because they were not making progress. Not Tai Hwang was very upset because he couldn't find out why a strange hole called a rift had suddenly gone away. He was worried that because the rift disappeared by itself, it might come back at any time. His helper, sounding serious and worried, said this unknown situation is very dangerous. She said maybe it would be better if monsters came instead of this not knowing what will happen. But Not Tai Hwang quickly stopped her. He said keeping people safe is the most important thing. He said sorry to his helper because he reacted too strongly. It was explained that Not Tai Hwang is among the top 100 heroes in the world. He started the hero group in Korea. He is an important member of the big world hero group. It is also said he could have become president if he wanted to, but he doesn't want that job. People say he only cares about protecting people and being ready for new rifts. Not Tai Hwang told his helper to keep looking into the matter completely, no matter how long it takes. She then told him that the person who owns the house near where the rift was has agreed to sell the property.
This made Nat Tai Hwang feel some relief. He also asked her to make sure the owner gets a lot of extra money. This way, they will not feel bad or angry about losing their home. He said paying them well for losing their house is well worth it. Nat Tai Hwang then thought with worry about what is really happening. This is because the rift did not just appear in Korea, it showed up in many other countries at the same time. His helper said that the United States and China have already been able to control the rifts in their areas, But the real problem now is in the United Kingdom. She explained that most of Britain's strongest heroes have already been sent to fight rifts in other places. Suddenly, an urgent warning appeared on Nat Tai Hwang's device. He looked at it with shock and fear. The breaking news said a new and dangerous rift has appeared in the United Kingdom, and that an emergency has been called there. People are told to stay careful. The view changed to the street. Seo Do-jun walked among the people without being seen. He was hiding who he was. Seo Do-jun went toward a shop that buys stones from monsters. He saw large signs advertising high prices for these stones. As soon as Seo Do-jun went into the shop, the worker screamed in fear when he saw him. The worker shouted for the manager. He pointed at Seo-jun and said that the person he first thought was a bird is actually a human. The manager asked if he meant that specific person. Then he turned to Seo-jun, looking angry. He asked if Seo-jun was the one who forced the worker to sell stones while he was away. But Seo Do-jun answered calmly and in a joking way. He said he arrived at just the right time. This is because he has many mana stones he wants to sell, and he had hoped to find someone important who could handle the deal. He threw his heavy bag of mana stones onto the floor. He threw the stones hard, making a loud sound. The manager looked at them. He thought they were not good quality, like last time. He decided he would not work with Seo-jun again. He told him to leave right away. Seo Do-jun was surprised by how the manager acted. He asked strongly if the manager did not want to do business with him. The manager said angrily that working with Seo-jun for only a small fee was not fair. He said it made them lose a lot of money. He said he would not work with him ever again. But Seo Do-jun replied calmly and with trust in himself. He said the manager would be sorry later for that choice. He looked clearly ready for a challenge. The manager answered back, saying it was not possible to talk sense with him. He added there was a reason why other places ask for a bigger fee, 5%. He said there was no reason to explain anything to someone like him. He stuck to his point. He told Seo Do-jun to leave the store and never come back. He made it clear he did not want to deal with him anymore. As Seo Do-jun put his bag down on the floor inside the store, many red stones fell out. Both the worker and the manager were shocked when they saw so many stones that were worth a lot of money. Then the manager saw one stone that was very special among them. It was called the Hero Mana Stone. People said it was worth more than a person's pay for 1,000 years. But Seo Do-jun spoke calmly to their surprised looks. He said if they were not wanting to buy the stones, he could just forget it and go away. They clearly explained what the Hero Mana Stone was. It was a stone that was very hard to find. It had great power and cost a lot of money. They told a story about a known drug seller from Mexico named Curzamon. He once tried to break mana stones to make drugs, but when he did this, the stone's power woke him up as a hero for the first time. Since that time, these stones have become very important for heroes. This is because they have amazing strength and help heroes use their power, mana.
In the store, the manager and the worker kept looking at the rare stone in shock. They fully knew how much it was worth. But Seo Do-jun calmly asked them to put the stones back in the bag because he was going to leave. The manager's way of acting changed right away. He spoke to Seo Do-jun very kindly. He had a big smile. He asked him to sit for a moment while they checked the stones. The worker quickly started picking up the stones. He put them on the table carefully. Seo Do-jun sat and waited for them to check. He drank his drink without showing any feelings. While waiting, the manager carefully tried to talk about the fee rate, which was only 0.5%. He said he was worried that it was too low. Seo Do-jun replied without care. He told him, then don't take the deal. The manager became very nervous. He quickly said sorry. He said he did not mean to say no. He was just asking. The manager asked Seo Do-jun why he made the fee 0.5%. Seo Do-jun replied by saying the reason was just that he was annoyed. The manager felt very scared. He quickly said sorry. He said he had made a mistake by not thinking carefully.
Seo Dojin replied with clear coldness. He said he was tired of hearing apologies. He asked clearly if the manager would take the low fee or not. The worker watched what was happening. He felt angry about how Seo Dojin was treating his boss. In his mind, he called him rude and full of himself. The manager tried to explain how important these stones are. He said most other companies buy them for their normal price with no fee. He said Seo Dojin was not even asking for a high fee here. Seo Dojin stopped him. He said, "This talk is too long. If he doesn't like it, I'll just leave." The manager quickly started lowering the fee rate. First, he suggested a 9% fee, then 8%. But Seo Dojin laughed at all his offers and said no. The manager kept trying to make a deal with Seo Dojin. He slowly made the fee lower to 7%, then 6.5%. But Seo Dojin said no to all of them. He made fun of his bad trying to make a deal. The manager fell to his knees because he felt he had no hope in front of Seo Dojin. But Seo Dojin offered him a 1% rate as a The manager was very angry inside. He thought Seo Dojin was asking for too much money, like a thief. This showed how angry and needing help the manager was. Seo Dojin smiled calmly. He quietly told the manager that he still had about 7 more bags of the same stones. Right away, the manager's actions changed. He yelled at a worker to quickly bring the papers for the deal. He saw how good the deal was and that he almost missed it. Seo Dojin looked at his phone and thought. He thought he could now buy the big house he wanted, worth 110 billion. This was because he had saved a lot of money. But he quickly had a new problem. He could not get the best mana stones from just normal places, gates. He wished he could go into special areas, rift zones, whenever he wanted. This is because those areas have the best mana stones. Suddenly, Seo Dojin's phone made a loud sound. The manager, worried, asked if monsters were attacking. Seo Dojin looked at the phone and the message said new monsters were coming in the UK. It was in the south part. The message told people traveling or doing business to change their plans fast. Seo Dojin smiled in a mocking way. He thought people who did not stop this were bad at their job. Seo Dojin then walked down the street and thought about the past. When he was a hero who did what the government told him, he would quickly gone to help stop the monster areas. But now he told himself he does not do that anymore. In another place, An Yang and her grandma sat at a table. They were surprised by all the fancy food in front of them. The grandma looked at the menu. She could not believe that 100 grams of meat cost $250,000. She said it didn't make sense. She was clearly worried about the price of the food. But Seo Dojin calmly and surely told her he earned a lot of money this time.
So they do not need to worry and can eat as much as they like. Anyang looked very happy when she started eating the good food. She really liked the taste and showed she was happy. The grandma was still unsure and seemed worried about the high price. Seo Dojin did not pay attention to his grandma's worry. He asked the server to bring more of the most costly meats from the menu. The grandma asked again why he was ordering so much food. She said she did not know how they would eat it all. But Seo Dojin smiled surely and kindly told her they should just enjoy and eat as much as they want today. He told her to eat more. The grandma was slow at first, but then she took some meat and tried it. Anyang happily said how much she loved the food. She told her grandma to eat fast. She said it tasted really, really good. The grandma started eating. She clearly liked the taste. She looked happy and pleased. At the same time, a person with purple hair walked surely towards Seo Dojin and his family. This unknown person came to Seo Dojin's table and said, "Mr. Seo Dojin." Seo Dojin turned to her. He looked sharp and sure. He waited for her to speak. The strange woman politely asked to talk to him alone for a short time. But Seo Dojin answered in a very cold way. He told her he was eating with his family right now. If she wanted to say something, she should come back after he finished eating.
After Seo Dojin's cold answer to Huno Yan, she became quiet. She was surprised. She looked at his back. She was shocked that he would not pay attention to her. She was very famous. Huno Yan calmly said yes. She moved away to sit close by. She thought to herself, a bit confused, what kind of strange man would dare to ignore her like that? People in the restaurant started looking at Huno Yan. They were very surprised. They knew her because she was... People whispered about a very famous person there. They said she was the world's best hero, known everywhere, named Hun Joan. Some said she really was the strongest hero. Others wondered who she was waiting for, standing like that. Hun Joan thought about Seo Dojin. He showed up fast 2 months ago. People said he died after going into a dangerous place. But he was clearly alive. She kept thinking, remembering how just looking at him and hearing one word made her feel very nervous inside. She wondered how Seo Dojin, who just got his powers, got so strong in only 2 months. A very rich man, the oil baron, took 5 years to become a top hero after he got his powers. She strongly told herself Seo Dojin could not be a top hero in just 2 months. She thought he must have some other special power that makes him strong. At the same time, Seo Dojin's family finished eating. Anyang was very happy because the food was good. The family got ready to leave, but they stopped. Anyang and her grandma saw someone walking towards them. They could hear their loud steps. Seo Dojin turned around quietly, but his face looked serious, ready for who was coming. Suddenly, a big man showed up. He started laughing meanly at Seo Dojin. He asked meanly if he was really Seo Dojin and how he got out of that dangerous place alive. It was clear this man was Kong Cha-woo. Seo Dojin wanted to find him because of what he did to him before. Hun Yan quickly stood up, worried when she saw Kong Cha-woo. Inside, she felt annoyed. She wondered why Kong Cha-woo had to come now. Kong Cha-woo walked towards Seo Dojin, sure of himself. Seo Dojin's family stood behind him, feeling tight and surprised. Kong Cha-woo put his hand out to stop Seo Dojin. He told him to stand still and not move. But Seo Dojin did not listen. He turned to Hun Yan instead. He said he was free now, because she had said before she wanted to talk to him. Kong Cha-woo quickly turned, surprised. He saw Hun Yan suddenly standing in front of him. He looked at her, confused, asking why she was here. Seo Dojin calmly stepped in. He said to Hun Yan, "I will listen to you later."
But can you help my family with something first? Hun Joan asked carefully what he needed. He answered calmly that she should call a taxi for his family and help them get inside. Then Seo Dojin added, looking very sure, that for him, there was something he needed to deal with first.